Hi everyone, in today's video we will be solving some problems with many steps and all our basic operations. So let's get started with problem one. Problem one says a school has 12 classes. Each class has 24 students. Each student has 35 pencils. How many pencils are in the entire school? Now, because all of this is nothing new, I would like for you to pause and try and solve these on your own and then come back to see if you did them correctly. There are three more problems. So when I show you those three other problems, I want you to also try and solve those on your own. So pause the video now and try and solve these three on your own. Okay, so now let's see if you did them correctly. Problem one. So we have a school. This school has 12 classes, and in each class there are 24 students. And each one of those 24 students has 35 pencils. And we want to know how many pencils are in the entire school. So to find that, let's think a little bit. 35 pencils for each student. Okay, but how many students are in the entire school? Because what we're being told is how many students there are per class. So first, we got to find how many students there are in the school. In order to do that, we have to multiply the classes by the number of students. So we have to do 24 times 12, and this will give us the number of students in the entire school. 24 times 12. 2 by 24 would give me 48. I'd write a 0 beneath the ones, and then 1 times 24 would give me 24. And I add. 8 plus 0 makes 8. 4 and 4 makes 8. And then just the 2 here. Okay, so that's the number of students. Now we know that each one of these students has 35 pencils. So to find the number of pencils, we have to multiply the number of students with the number of pencils. So 288 times 35. Okay, this one's a little harder than the last one. 5 times 8 makes 40. Right, 0, carry 4. 5 times 8 again makes 40, plus 4 that I carried over makes 44. So I write 4, carry 4. 5 times 2 makes 10, plus 4 that I carried over makes 14. I write 0 beneath the ones, and I do 3 times 8 makes 24. So I write 4, I carry 2, sorry. Again, 3 times 8 makes 24, plus 2 that I carried over makes 6. 3 times 2 makes 6, plus 2 that I carried over makes 8. I add 0, 8, 4 and 6 makes 10, so I write 0, I carry 1, and then 1 plus 1 that I carried over plus 8 makes 10. So my final result is 10,080. That's the number of pencils in the entire school. 10,080. Let's wipe this clean. Next problem. A group of 16 friends goes out for dinner. After eating, they get their check, and the cost of their dinner is 707 euros. They notice they were overcharged by 35 euros. After the mistake was corrected, they decide to split the bill evenly. How much will each of them pay? Okay, so at the beginning, the bill is 707 euros. It says they were overcharged by 35 euros. What that means is that the check that was brought, there was a mistake, and they were charged 35 more euros than they should have been. So those 35 euros need to be subtracted from the check in order to find what it should have been. 7 take away 5 would give me 2. And I can't do 0 take away 3, so I'm going to do 10 take away 3 makes 7. and then 7 take away 1 would give me 6. So the actual bill should have been 672 euros. Now, next it says that they decide to split the bill. So that means that to find how much each of them will pay, I need to do 672 divided by 16. How many times does 16 fit into 67? Well, how many times does 2 fit into 6? That would be 3. So let's try 3. 3 times 16 gives me 48. Let's do this subtraction. I will get from this subtraction how much? 19. Which is more than 16, so I've made a mistake and I need to go back and try one more time. Instead of 3, I need to try 4. And 4 times 16 gives me 64. 67 take away 64 gives me 3, which is less than 16, so I can continue. I carry down the 2, and I say, how many times does 16 fit into 32? That would be twice. 2 times 16 makes 32. So 32 minus 32 makes 0. And my answer is 4. Okay, so next up, problem 3. Problem 3 says, Jim earned 21,120 euros over 1 year. Great, good for him. Every month, he worked 160 hours. How many euros did he earn per hour? Okay, so here we know the total amount of money that he made throughout the entire year. And we're being told how many hours he worked per month. And we're being asked how many euros he earned every hour. So to find that, we can't right now because we're being given 2 pieces of information that can't really help. We first have to figure out something else. So here we know how much money he made throughout the entire year. And here we know how many hours he worked per month. So in order to figure out how much money per hour, we first need to figure out how much money he made per month, and then divide that by the number of hours. So since he made 21,120 euros in 1 year, I will have to divide this by 12 to find how many euros he made per month, because a year has 12 months. So I'm going to have to do 21,120 divided by 12. And that's going to give me how much money he made per month. So 12 fits into 21 once. If I do this subtraction, I'm going to get 9. I'm going to pull down the 1. And then I have to think, how many times does 12 fit into 91? Well, how many times does 2 fit into 9? That would be 4 times. Let's try 4. 4 times 12 gives me 48. And I'm definitely going to, if I try 48 here, I'm going to get much less than 12, much more than 12. So definitely not. Let's not even try 5. Let's actually try a bigger number because we were so far off from 91. Let's actually try 6. 6 times 12 would give me 72. Okay, let's try 72. 72 is a lot closer to 91. We're still going to get much more than 12, but let's try it anyway. So if I do the subtraction, I'm going to get 19, which indeed is more than 12. So we're going to need to try one more time. We're going to need to try 7. 7 times 12 would give me 84. If I do 91 take away 84, I'm going to get 7. Next up, I have already pulled down this 1. So my next job is to pull down the 2. Oh, 72. Well, I know exactly how many times 12 fits into 72. That would be 6 because we just did the multiplication 6 times 12 before and we got 72. So 6 times 12 makes 72. I'm going to do this subtraction and I'm going to get 0. And I'm going to pull down the other 0 and I'm going to say how many times does 12 fit into 0? That would be 0. 0 times 12 makes 0, and 0 minus 0 makes 0, and then I have nothing to carry down, so this division is over. 1,760 euros. That's how much money he made per month. So now let's try and find out how many euros he made per hour. To do that, I'm going to have to divide this number by 160. Because if he made this much money in 1 month and worked this many hours in 1 month, then to find how many euros for 1 hour, I have to do 1,760 divided by 160. How many times does 160 fit into 176? That would be once. 1 times 160 gives me 160. And if I do this subtraction, I'm going to get 16. I'm going to pull down the 0, get 160. How many times does 160 fit into 160? That would also be once. So I would do 1 times 160 gives me 160, which I am going to subtract, and I will get 0. Perfect. So the answer would be that it makes 11 euros per hour. Great. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to exercise, to the next 3 problems. So I want you to pause the video again and try and do these on your own. Okay, so let's go to problem 4. Problem 4 says, last month I earned 1,210 euros. I spent 500 euros on rent, 351 euros at the supermarket, and 248 euros to fix my car. How much money did I have left over? Well, this is the amount of money that I gained. So 1,210 euros. And then in each of these cases, I had to give some of it away, which means subtraction. So first I have to subtract 500. Which would give me 710. Then I would have to do 710 minus 351, which would give me what? And then I would have to do 359 minus 248. Which would give me 111. So my answer should be 111 euros. Okay. Let's move on to problem 4. So, problem 5, sorry. A class has 18 students. Each student has 25 pencils. They used up 10 of them. So each student used up 10 of their pencils. How many pencils are left in the class? Now, So to solve this, we first need to find out how many pencils each student has left. Since they had 25 and they used 10 of them, how many do they have left? Well, 25 take away 10, which means 15. And to find how many pencils there are overall, I need to multiply the number of pencils each student has left, so 15, with the number of students, so 18. So I need to do 15 times 18. 8 times 5 gives me 40. 8 times 1 gives me 1 plus 4 that I carried over makes 12. And then I write 0 beneath the 1s, and 1 times 15 is going to give me 15. I add, and I get 0, 7, 2. So we have a total of 270 pencils left. Let's move on. "15 people bought 16 presents for 48 people. Let's say that this is charity of some sort. How many presents did each person receive?" So each one of these 15 people bought 16 presents. So first I need to figure out the total amount of presents. I'm going to do that by doing 15 times 16, and okay, let's do this multiplication. 6 times 5 would give me 30, so I'm going to write 0, I'm going to carry 3. 6 times 1 would give me 6 plus 3 that I carried over gives me 9. 0 beneath the 1s, and then 15. Because 1 times 15 is going to give me 15. I add. So there's a total of 240 presents. And I need to figure out how many presents each person got. So to do that, I need to divide the presents by the number of people that are receiving them. So 240 divided by 48. Does 48 fit into 24? No. 48 does not fit into 24. So I need to figure out how many times it fits into 240. Okay, well, how many times does 5 instead of 4 fit into 24? The answer to that would be 4. So I'm going to try first 4 times 48. And what I'm going to get from doing 4 times 48 is 192. And if I do the subtraction, I'm going to get exactly 48, which is equal to my divisor, meaning that I need to go back and try this one more time. Instead of 4, I'm going to try 5. And 5 times 48 is going to give me exactly 240. And if I subtract, I'm going to get a 0. I have nothing else to pull down, so my answer is 5. Each person is going to get 5 presents. That'll be all for today. Tomorrow we'll solve some more problems. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.